to the first ever airing of The Dark and Twisted. I'm your host, Tori.
I'm Sakaya.
I'm Ariana.
And we are a podcast that explores the paranormal and we investigate, not really investigate, more like research the paranormal so that you don't have to. But before we get started with our podcast, we'd like to give a quick thank you to our sponsors.
Warehouse Creations. Looking for unique and captivating pottery or home decor? Look no further than Warehouse Creations. This husband and wife team of potters, Will and Jenny Ware, create a stunning body of work that blends traditional perfection with weird and wonky. Their complementary styles create a visually interesting and captivating collection that engages the viewer and invokes a sense of emotion. Whether you're looking for a functional piece, a statement piece, or just something to complement your existing decor, Warehouse Creations has you covered. Find them on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. See their latest creations and let them fill your pottery or home decor needs today.
All right. So we are going to be discussing two main topics. We are going to be discussing the Queen Mary and the Lady in White. The Lady in White is going to be the main topic we discuss just because we're very invested in her. And you'll find out why. But before we start actually getting into it, we're going to get a quick rundown of the history of the ship just so you guys kind of know what lines with the ship. The Royal Mail ship, the Queen Mary, was built in Clydebank, Scotland under the ownership of Cunard White Star Line. Designed and equipped to be a transatlantic super ocean liner, she sailed in 1936 from England to New York City. For 3 years, her prestigious, wealthy passengers included royalty, movie stars, statesmen, and prominent politicians who sailed in elegance and experienced the grand era of the ocean liner travel. Now, we get to the actual kind of what brought on the paranormal part of it. When World War II broke out, it broke out in late 1939, the ship, and because of the ship's speed, size, and technology, they decided that the ship would be a troopman ship, which basically means that it would sail troops across the sea. When they tore everything out of the ship and stored it into a warehouse, and they repainted it a gray color, and they named it the Gray Ghost. The ship carried over 800,000 men on her voyage, and some were ill and injured, so we all know that there were probably more than a few passengers who passed, sadly, unfortunately. And they used the ship mainly as kind of like a traveling hospital for the troops. It carried and it also healed and helped. So that's our quick rundown on the history. Now we get into the Lady in White and also a few other entities, but our main focus is her. So the Lady in White, she is an entity known well just for kind of like roaming around the ship. She's one of the most well-known ghosts. Legend has it that the Lady in White, a ghostly apparition, haunts the Queen Mary. She is said to be the spirit of a young woman who tragically passed away on the ship. Witnesses claim to have seen her wandering the hallways, and her ethereal figure draped in a flowing white gown. Some believe she is searching for her lost love, while others say she is trapped between realms. Her untimely demise remains shrouded in mystery. The details of her tragic fate aboard the Queen Mary are elusive as her ethereal presence. The exact circumstances surrounding her death are the subject of speculation and ghostly whispers, adding to the intrigue and mystique of her haunting tale. So, basically, we don't know anything about her.
Absolutely nothing.
No name.
Nothing. And it's funny because when we were researching the Queen Mary, the ship itself and its hauntings, there were like at least 4 names, and it actually had like what caused their death.
And to be fair, this is a ship, and if someone dies on the ship, they should probably
Have record
of
or
who died and
Well, yeah,
how
like
they died.
you have records of like the cook dying, and you have records of the main captain person.
And the boiler worker.
Yeah, and the little girl who
just a
drowned in the
random
pool.
little
Just a
girl.
random little girl. You're gonna have a random little girl, but you're not gonna have the Lady in White.
And that's a grown woman.
That haunts the most. Like,
Right.
At
Haunts
the
the
same
ship the
time,
most.
though, like, you'd think if someone saw her that often and they said that these ghosts like to communicate and everything. We still don't know that.
And you guys have to think, this ship is like, how old would it be? If it was like 1920s, it's like
It was
100.
It was made way before that though.
So it's at least 100 years old,
I
if
think that's
older.
just when it became like a warship.
Yeah. So it's at least probably older than 100 years old. So this ship has been around way before us, and you still don't know anything about the Lady in White? I mean, come on, like. And another thing is like she had to have died before the ship got turned into a warship.
Just
Just
died after because they still had people like go and visit. It wasn't like
right, because it got turned into a hotel, but still,
Yeah.
like
But she would have still have to die before the
she's
whole situation of it becoming a warship, because she wasn't like a nurse or anything, because she would have had the suit like you die.
right.
I mean,
she's
you
in a
have
gown.
on what
Yeah.
you die in. So
which is also really weird because why are you in a full on gown? I mean,
yeah, that's what
actually,
it's like.
because it was a party shirt, not shirt, bus. Wait, boat.
Yeah, like
A bus and a boat.
party bus, I guess. But she would have had died before it became a warship, because she would have been in uniform, like if she was a nurse or anything, and that's all she could be. If she was on there during the warship, she
Yeah.
could only be like a nurse, because she couldn't actually be fighting in the war
Yeah.
at that time. So it had to be before it was a warship.
And I don't think they wore gowns.
Yeah.
Flowy white
Right.
Yeah.
gowns. I don't think they did that.
And that's
So-
like another thing, like why is there no record? Why is there no record whatsoever? They had to have found her body.
Yeah, like where was she found? How was she found?
What room?
She was
Like
never found.
bruising or anything?
It's just I don't know. It's confusing. It literally makes my brain short circuit because I cannot mentally understand why there is no record of her whatsoever.
Yes, it's crazy. Like this is really, it's scary and crazy at the same time, because it's like the person that haunts it the most.
Right.
And also, it's just hard for me. Anytime you tell me you see a ghost lady and she's wearing a flowy white dress, and
That's scary.
I'm
not-
running.
first
I'm
off-
going the opposite
first off,
direction.
I'm less likely to believe you because that's just the stereotypical ghost woman.
Yeah, like
Some lady, some young pretty
Long
lady
hair,
in a long
white
dress. Yeah, it's just like
Basically looking like a bride. Who you getting
every
married
single
to?
one. Come on, not everybody's dying
Right.
like that, looking like that. Why
But
is it
it's
only
like
them?
there have been so many like recordings of her or like records of her
people
like
reporting
existing.
like they saw her. But it's like, okay, she interacts with everybody. They're the most interactive paranormal.
or she's like the most
spirits.
well-known spirit.
Yeah, like why don't y'all ask? Like if y'all are talking to her,
Figure out
why aren't y'all
Communication
asking
is
who
key,
she
guys.
is?
Keep that in mind.
Yes, why aren't y'all asking like, how did you die? Who are you? Like, what is your name? Like those might be
Right.
the first questions I ask.
Because,
if I
like,
ever saw her.
Hold on. There's a few records of different spirits. And this is what I mean. Like, how are you going to have other records of them knowing how they died, but she is somehow such a mystery?
No explanation at all.
So this says there are resident spirits, including Jackie, the little girl who haunts the first class pool. She's drowned. John, who was crushed by a watertight door. Womp womp. Senior second Senior second officer William Eric Stark, who accidentally drank dry cleaning fluid instead of gin. And the cook,
Don't know how to.
who was baked alive by his own kitchen staff during World
that
War
one is so
II.
hard to believe.
I really
I know
want to
that
hear
one
that
sounds
story.
so fake to
Like,
me.
I want to hear that story.
Because was you drunk or something? Like, did they drug
Like,
you? Like, how did they just
my
did they
thing
cook you and
is,
eat
like,
you?
Like, why did
What
they
did
do that?
you do to make your team so mad? They was like, oh yeah, we're gonna burn him alive.
Yeah, we're gonna kill
Like
him.
we're gonna kill this man.
Like,
They had to drug him and then like
but
wait till he was asleep.
that's the thing. Like, we can actually like fathom these deaths.
Yeah.
Like, we can actually think on them and be
But
like,
it's like,
this
we
is
have
could have
no
what happened.
no recollection to like we don't have anywhere to go
with the
like,
lady in white because we don't know what happened to her. It's literally a mystery.
Yes,
'Cause-
like the biggest mystery.
Because how is you going to be one of the most famous ships on the ship and then no one
story.
knows? No one knows your story.
No one.
My question is, do you even know your own story? Because why ain't you talking about it? I would be like, I want to be
You
known.
want to talk to
I wanna be
everybody on
known.
this ship, but you're not talking about how you died or who you are.
Right. Like it doesn't make sense to me. Like I mentally cannot. Like it's not clicking in my brain. And like it says that she's searching for her lost love.
But how do y'all know that?
Right.
You don't even know the girl's
Is that the
first
only
name.
Is it just
information
because she's a
giving
girl?
you?
That's the only. This is just screaming stereotypical ghost woman. Like, I'm sorry. Like, every single place that's ever had any type of haunting, there's a woman there, and she's haunting it. And her
The
husband
corpse
cheated on
bride.
her. Her husband killed her. Her husband left her, and she died, and she's looking
Yes,
for him.
because one of the things was like she's looking for her husband, and then another was like her husband killed her. So first, did he kill you, and you're trying to get revenge, or like what? Are they just like putting a whole
Right.
bunch of stories together?
And
It's crazy.
and my thing is there's a lot of records of her being seen around the ship, but there's no records of anyone actually trying to communicate with her.
yeah, like
How y'all sure it's her? Have y'all seen her face? What she look like? I want a detailed description of this lady. I want a police drawing of this lady, and then maybe I'll believe it. But even
we need a
then,
sketch.
y'all
That's
just be
what we need.
lying.
Well, my thing is it's still the records thing because
Okay.
it's how is there literally no one that knows who this woman is?
And it's like you had to have money to get on the ship. So like, who
Right.
bought a ticket? Who
Who
got
were
on
you
the
with?
ship? Like y'all have
Right.
Y'all have like how they have like the clipboards and stuff like when you're getting on the ship or like going
Right.
somewhere and they'd be like, oh,
They not
check,
just letting
she's here,
anybody
he's here.
on. Like you, they
Exactly.
know
Like what
who's
if
on
like
the
what if you was a
ship.
peasant or something and
It's a story behind this. Like they killed this woman on purpose. They hid the evidence and everything. Like they don't want nobody to
what
know.
if we had like a Titanic situation where he was a peasant and like got on the ship? Like
But at
let's
the same time, they're talking about her dress and everything.
like it's a rich people's dress. Like it's a fancy dress.
and why
She's
are
all
there no records of her?
She's all styled
That's
up.
what I'm saying.
like,
That's the number one
already.
thing. If she had to have had like some type of money,
They like and like
but
you're
no one knows
A
who she
lot.
is.
like I was
It
saying,
like
it was
famous people, politicians, like people that in higher class.
This ship was bigger than the Titanic.
it was and
too.
it was a rich ship. It wasn't just like a normal ship that you could buy like a cruise.
A
No,
regular
it was a
$200
rich ship.
cruise.
Like people who were rich.
even
literally.
after it wasn't in the war anymore.
So your name or who you are has to be known. Like there has to be a record of you somehow.
because it was like royalty
She could have
and
been
celebrities
the
who
most
got on
famous
it.
Right.
singer in the whole wide world, and they're just not telling us.
Like
They
no
should
one
know.
knows
It
her
should've-
history. No one knows who she is. No one
Celebrities
knows
don't
what
just
her name
disappear And
is.
everybody's like, oh, they're gone. Royalty doesn't disappear, and they're just like, oh no, like.
Yeah, like she could have been of royal descent or like a big wealthy
But she's
family. or
What if she was
anything.
Yeah.
what if she was married to a politician? Cuz you know how
They did. It did
Mistress.
say politicians were on there.
What if she was a mistress?
Oh, are we getting somewhere? Are we getting somewhere?
'Cause
What if his
that
wife?
would've-
What if his wife was on the ship too and killed her?
Like the wife found out her husband was
Ended
cheating.
there.
It was like, we're gonna
That's
kill this.
No, you
mistress.
think about that.
Yeah,
you
y'all,
think?
y'all think on that because that would make so much sense. Because how does no one know who you are?
And
Yeah.
it's like the woman could have paid them to like erase
Right, like,
records of her.
If
or
you
anything.
weren't well known, oh my God, I didn't think about
Looking
that.
for her
I didn't think
lover.
about that.
looking for her
Oh.
lover to snitch on the wife, like your wife killed me. And it's like he's not gonna say something because he's cheating.
He probably
Right, like he don't want to be
He's
looked
not
bad
gonna be like,
upon.
oh yeah, I brought a
Realistically-
mistress on here and she's gone now. Like
He probably took her onto the ship. Like if this is like most likely if this is the case,
it was
he
probably a
probably took
business
her-
trip for him.
his business trip took her with him, killed her, got rid of the evidence, everything, probably paid off whoever to
It was
just-
him and his
But
wife,
think
like,
about
it
it. Think about it. What if it was okay? Hear me out, y'all. There were you couldn't keep like records on bank statements like you can now.
Yeah.
So what if he bought her a ticket, but also was going with his wife originally, but invited her because he wanted his little toy or whatever to be there with him? And like imagine like the wife found out about it or something and was like, oh nah, she's dead. Yeah. And so and like went and like murdered her and then like she said paid off everyone.
Yeah, like you can pay somebody to like delete the records because they don't have technology, so it's like
and if
it's
you got
not
money,
on computers or anything.
Right, if you got money,
so
you're able to get rid of stuff like that easily,
Yeah,
like with the snap.
She could have easily just paid off somebody. They burned that record of her ever being on there.
Right, and like when it says like her looking for her lost love,
she's looking for the husband
and
to
that
like,
would make
hey,
sense
your
if
wife
she
killed
wasn't
me.
known at all. You know?
Right. Oh my God.
That could really explain why she's not known. Because she could be like a peasant, like not having money, but she could be like really, really beautiful. Mm-hmm. So it's like she fits in, but she doesn't fit in. That's scary as hell. I think, guys, we did it. We came up with it.
Yeah, y'all.
It's real, and we're not changing it.
Crack the case, y'all. No, but seriously.
Right here.
It makes so much sense. It really does, because you're literally my mind's blown right now and I don't even know why. Like I feel like I should have figured that out sooner.
Yes, that is crazy. Because it's like that's the most logical thing.
And that's what makes most sense.
Yeah, like, and they can get away with it because they have so much money.
Right.
And it's like 100+ years ago. So if you have money, you can get away with anything.
That leads to my next question. Y'all know how it's not like, sure, there are like a few main apparitions on the ghost, but there's more. What if, since like before, like it was because there's got to be some dark history considering that's what we just came up with our minds. So what if there were more deaths like hers and it's just covered up and we don't know about it? Like it's not known to the public.
For it to be a big, huge boat, more people had to die. Like it's not just
most definitely.
No. People
so
die
it's
all
like,
the time.
who else died and got their murder covered up? Like that could be the biggest scheme ever.
And also,
all these rich people get on the boat with people they don't really like or they like, but they want to get rid of easily.
You know, rich people, they're a little crooked. Once you get a little bit of money in your pockets,
they can do anything.
Evil.
No, seriously.
Damn it, like this just so often.
Oh my God.
Like politicians or someone like that tries to pay people off for all the crazy stuff that they do.
Could you imagine how excited she must have been? Like if that's actually what happened.
Like,
she's like, I haven't been.
I'm going on this boat. I'm about to have my most nicest dresses, nicest hairstyle.
I'm gonna eat rich people food. Like I'm gonna have it all, and then you die 2 days later because the man's wife finds out.
And it's like she knew she was a mistress, but it's like he's spending all this money on me. He has this money. Like we're going on a trip together.
Right.
And he's probably, he's probably like, oh yeah, I'm going to leave my wife for you. All this stuff. Like this is our new start.
This is just a theory, by the way.
Wife didn't like that.
Oh yeah, this is just a theory. No. We don't know if this is fact. But it feels kind of legit. I'm not going to lie. Like, it's crazy. 7 minutes. But no, yeah. I don't know. That's so crazy. If you guys can find any research on it, or like y'all find any information, please let us know because we're actually kind of.
If y'all go and like you see her and you get
if you want to put your theories in, go ahead.
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know some theories that you may have.
We can come back and recap on it because that's actually really interesting.
Also, get ready for October because we're gonna do a little podcast over the Salem witch trial. I did a lot of research.
Oh yeah.
And it's so crazy. I found out some stuff that is kind of obvious, but I did not know. And I can't wait to talk about it because I actually learned some things.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, so stay tuned and come back for our next podcast if you enjoyed this first one. Also, please, please, please research because maybe we missed something and we're actually kind of flabbergasted right now.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you guys so much for joining our first ever podcast. We hope you guys enjoyed it. We can't wait to see you guys next time.
See ya.